Hi everyone, this is Marieanne the Artsie Crafter. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're just going to continue on with where we left off last week and continue working on this journal and making some of the background pages and all that good stuff. So let's get to it. Get on to the next one, which is this page here. So this is the signature cover. And then this first one here, we're going to put I've lost the, oh yes, thought I'd lost the piece of paper. This panel that we painted green, we're going to use that to cut out these flip outs here. On the next page here, these two flip outs. So we do the same thing, we cut the panels out with hinges and we glue them onto the back of the base page, and then we glue the base page onto the journal. So we'll do that now. So these, I did have measurements for this, but I've lost them. What have I done with the measurements? So the base page, the front flip out is, I cut to, I've just done the markings here. So I've cut the front flip will be 4 3/8 of an inch wide, or 11 centimeters wide, and then I put on a these will go in this way, so I put in a 3/8 of an inch hinge on one side. So it's 4 3/8, so it's 3/8 of a hinge, and then 4 centimeters wide will be the width of your front panel. This one here, and then it's what did I say? It was 4 1/4 inches high, or 11 centimeters high. If you're doing in centimeters, you cut it to 11 centimeters wide, which gives you, it will be 10 centimeters by the time you take the 1 centimeter hinge off, or you fold it over. Then the back flip, this one here, I've made that to 3 7/8 wide, so that includes that 3/8 of an inch hinge by 7.5 inches high, or in metric it's 10 centimeters wide, with the one which includes that 1 centimeter hinge, and it's 19 centimeters high. So if you cut those panels out, which we do now, I have them marked here. This is the first one. So this is the hinge, so I've already marked where I'm going to put the hinge, so I just use your scoring tool, whatever one you're going to use, put it against those two marks at the 3/8 inch or 1 centimeter mark, and score down a couple of times, and then I bend that over, and there's your first flip out. Then we do that again with the second one. Already marked out like that. And then the 3/8 of an inch, or the 1 centimeter mark, score that down a couple of times, being gentle with the scoring, and then follow on that score line. And there's your second flip out. Now we're going to put this one on top of that one. We're going to glue, you put that in position so it's nice and neat against this hinge, and you flip it over. You don't have to have it, you don't have this top one in the center. You can have it either one end or the other, but I like to have it centralized. And then you just flip this first top hinge out and get some glue. We're going to glue this hinge to the back hinge first, like that. So they're together, and we'll set that aside while it glues. Now with this one, I did do a fussy cut, a decorative edge around on all three sides on this one, and just that side on this one. You could do that. I'm going to just use these scissors. I'm just going to do the one side. Could have done it beforehand, but I'll do it now. And these have a special way of cutting, so I'm just going to cut that edge along here. You don't have to. You can put some other lace trim on afterwards, or just leave it plain like that. I don't know where I got these scissors from, but they're only cheap. And there we go, that's done. Get rid of that mess. So that's your flip outs for this page. Now we're going to do the same as we did on the, we're going to have this on the front, this page here, and then towards the back here on this page here as a background page. So that's you've got the what you got, signature cover, and then it's the next one in, same as the front. You have your signature cover, and then this is the next one in, the first coffee dyed paper. So I've already measured it, and now I just have to cut it in half. So these pages, outside pages, remember they're 5.5 wide by 8 inches high. So I just took off a little bit. So I cut these panels out to 5.5 inches wide to 7 3/4 inches high. So that's that 1/8 of an inch border around, if it works out properly this time. In metric, it's 13 centimeters wide by 19.4 centimeters high, unless you've gone down and just rounded it off, which would be, if you made your pages just 20 centimeters high, then that would be 19 centimeters. So it's 1/2 centimeter border all the way around. And cut these in half. So I'll show you how to, this one just gets, you can ink around the edges if you want to, or just glue it onto the page. It's up to you. I won't show you how to do this one. This is just the same as what I did on the front cover. You just glue this onto the page. This one here, I'll show you how to attach, because we've got the flip outs. So these just slip onto this side, because we're going to attach it to this first. So that's your signature cover, and it's this first page here. So this will be glued on to there. So we will glue this onto the back here first, and then we'll glue the page on the panel onto the page itself. So I think I got this measurement much better this time. I won't be inking around the edges, but you can ink around the edges because it just takes up too much time. So go ahead. And so you line this up. I like to cut these flip outs a little bit shorter than the panels, just so that you don't have to worry about anything sticking out the top or the bottom. But you could cut it to the height of the panel or the page, It's up to you, but this is the way I do it. So you just get that nice and neat up against that edge, and then flip it over like that, and then pull the hinge out, and then glue this hinge. I've got it on the right side this time. Make sure you get it right up against that edge of the hinge. Somehow it moved out. Nice and neat against that, firm against that hinge. Glue it down. Use your scoring. My favourite scoring tool is my thumb. And then that's all ready to go into your journal. So now we just have to glue it in. There you go. And then you just center it on your page. I tend to center it more towards the outside. As I said, I like to try and keep as less bulk towards the center of the spine as possible. Sometimes these first pages, because they're the outer pages, they take a bit more persuasion to glue to the edge. Just got to work at it. Hold it down. Make sure the other edges are down. So when there's nothing on the back there, sometimes it's easier just to go on the back and push it down on a flatter surface. So you could leave it like that and dry, and then it should stay stuck. But it's pretty much stuck on there. That's good. So that's that page. And the next one we're going to do, so this one here will go on, so that's your, as I said, signature cover. So it goes on this side here. That one you can ink around and then just glue that on there. That will be a background page. So with these ones you're getting 2 pages done at once. And then the next one we'll be doing is, if you've downloaded the freebies, you'll have this, already have this panel, this paper with the pine needles on, which you see in this one here. We're going to go and work on the envelope. So that is the back panel for the envelope. So here you can see, I don't know if you can see the background here and this panel are both from that lace paper. So we're going to cut the panels out and glue that on. And if you've got the music sheet, it doesn't have to be, this one isn't coffee dyed actually, it's just inked around the edges. So we're going to cut the panel out. It depends on what size. As I said, this is a 5-inch, just over 5-inch high envelope. So I just cut the music sheet to the same size as the panel because I'm going to be tearing around the edges, so that will shrink it down a bit and give you a border. You don't have to tear it, you can just cut it and leave a border or not a border at all. But anyway, that's what I've done with this one, so I'll continue to do that with this one. And this one here, after I put the lace paper, this one also is a music sheet behind, so we can do the same with that. We'll cut it out the same size as the lace paper and then just tear around the edges. It also will depend on what image goes on the front here. I'll talk more about that later on with this image. Okay, so this is the papers. I've already cut these panels down. As I said, my envelope is what's the envelope size? I'll measure it. But your envelope might be a different size, so you just have to measure it, the envelope, and then you, as I said, it's up to you whether you want to put a border on or not. These little flip outs, this one is just under the 3, it's 3 3/8 wide. I think we all did the same measurement, but the height might be different, and it's 5 inches high. Well, this is 12.5 centimeters by 8.5 centimeters. So I just cut a panel out that's a little bit smaller than that with the 1/8 or 1/2 centimeter border. So that's this one here. So we'll do that first. So I've already measured down the size. So you want the panel's going to go on this side and this side. So you, sorry, getting in shot. The panel lace paper is going to go on both sides. So you cut out 2 panels. Like that. And then, as I said, with the music sheet will go on this panel. So you cut out the music sheet with a little bit of border around, and also the back panel. Those two you cut out the same size because they're going on the same sheet. And somehow this one needs to be trimmed down on one side for some reason. Just, you can see it's a little bit. Let's do it this way. Measure it this way. Not much, but just a tiny little bit cut off there. So you got those 2 panels to cut out as well, to whatever size your envelope is. This one here, I said we're going to do music sheet on the back. Once we put this on here, we'll do, it's the right side, music sheet on the top of that, which I didn't cut out, so I'll just get the other bit of that music sheet. I can find it. My panel here. So I just have to measure that to the same size. Here and here. And cut it out. Okay, so when you cut up these pieces of paper, keep all these scraps because we'll be using them to collage a paper later on. So when we do the collaging on a piece of paper, we're going to cut the collage out, and you can use those collage panels as tags and journal cards inside your journal, but I'll show you that when we get to it. So for now, this is what I have. As I said, you've got these panels that will go on this side and one on that side, so they're both the same size, and they can be inked around the edges and just glued on. As I said, I wasn't going to do any inking. I'll just glue them on to save some time. This one here is the same size, so all we're going to do is tear around the edges. If you tear towards you, you'll get a white border. If you tear the other way, you won't get a white border. Depends on whether you want the white border or not. So all I'm going to do is tear around with making round corners. Oops. So you can just cut this down straight if you don't want to have torn edges. Just make it a little bit smaller than this panel. So keep these as well. We can use them to do some collaging. So now we can glue these. We'll glue on there and then glue this on top. I might give this, because it just looks so pale, just so that you can see it a little bit better. I'll ink around the edges. My sponge is starting to fall to bits. Definitely must make myself a note to go and buy some more. There we go. I'll do that one. And now we just glue them on, all these panels on. So this one is on the inside. This one goes on here. I've got to tear this one out, so I'll do that before I go any further. So you tear away from you and you don't get the white border. You tear towards you, you'll get a white border. Sometimes it's just easier to do this. Tearing away from you, I always find is much easier, so you just turn the page over and tear it on the back. You could use it if you have the fancy fancy edge scissors. You could do that instead of tearing as well, for it just creates a decorative edge. Keep these little scraps, some of them will be handy. And we'll ink around the edge of this one. So feels good to start to be actually working on some pages in the journal. Hopefully we'll get it finished before Christmas so you can use it. I tend to write all my notes on the computer. I don't usually write straight into my diary or journal because I'm always terrified of making mistakes. So I usually write it on the computer first and then I transfer it over to my journal. That way I can correct all my mistakes without ruining my journal. That's the way I operate, because sometimes I think faster than I can write. That's it. And then this one. When I'm gluing, I hold one end and smooth out the other end, starting from the middle usually and spreading it out. And then this one, that's right, this one is for here. I didn't have anything on the back. This one got a little bit shorter, but doesn't matter. I write myself notes on the back so I remember what I'm doing. Just center that on the page. And then this one goes on this side. I hope you're working along with me to make this journal. And find out for yourself how much fun it can be to create your own pages. I absolutely love this process because I love being creative and unique, original papers that nobody else has. I didn't cut that down. I'll do that now. might cut a little bit more off. There we go. So which way do I want them? They're going up that way or down that way. Kind of looks the much of a muchness, doesn't it? Oh well. Which way? Actually, if it was a tree, it'd be going that way, wouldn't it? Anyway, doesn't matter. It's not that I'm going to be seeing it too often. Because these are handmade journals, don't try and be perfect. You can see my little panel is a little bit wonky, but that's part of the beauty of having handmade. No one's going to say this is made in a factory. So that's that panel there already done. We've got our little side pocket there, and that one's closed over because otherwise it ends up being too bulky. And then you've got, if you're going to use Christmas cards, just move some of this away so I can show you. I did, where is it now? I can find it. Should I count? Oh, here. This one here is next to that brown background page, which is over that one there that we did last time. On here, I've just left it blank, and I've just put this Christmas card. This is actually the back of a Christmas card. I used the front of this one on these panels because it's just so pretty, and it had a beautiful back on the card, so I didn't want to, you know, destroy that. So I put this little pocket on the bottom to cover up the card name, you know, the brand name and the barcode and all that kind of thing. So that was on there. And then I used some sticky tape as washi tape and to bind it as a hinge and put it in there. You could put a decorative panel on the back there. You can do some stamping, stenciling, or just leave it plain. And then this saying wasn't appropriate for this journal because it was to a grandmother or something or other. So I just put a journal panel, that lace paper at the top. You can write over the whole thing. So that's what we do with that one. Oops. So this one will go in here. Thought it contrasts with this one quite nicely. So I just need to, and I'm going to keep it that size, and I just need to pick out a sticky tape that will go with it. So might use this one here because it's the right way. Oops, that's very clever of me, wasn't it? And they're all over the place. Just throw that bit out, don't need that. Close it back up. Okay, now I have to decide this sticky tape, to be able to fit that on the page, I will have to cut the panel down. So which side will I cut? Seeing that it's got decoration on this side, I might cut this side down by, how much will I cut it down by? So I want the edge background a little bit of a border, so this sticky tape will go, you don't want it on the border, so I might have to cut off the thickness of the tape, which is 1/2 inch or 1.5 centimeters. So I might cut down 3/8 of an inch of this card so it will fit, which is very sad. I don't really want to do that, but do 3/8 of an inch, which is just under 1/2 inch. I always make sure that when I'm cutting that it has gone all the way through before I move the ruler away, because sometimes it doesn't. And then I will adhere the sticky tape, if I can find the end. Oh, there it is. And try and get it in the center. Put that against the edge here. Give me a guide, hopefully. That's there. That's there, so you lose too much. Cut this down. Like that. Then I'll center it up and make sure it's fairly centered, like that. Hopefully I got it fairly straight. Straight enough. And then I will flip that up and then put another one, piece of sticky tape on this side. Get it to that edge. Again. Halfway on. That. Oops. Take that off. And try and cut it off. And just run your fingernail down where it's along that edge of the card. Make sure it's got a nice firm adhered. It's got a bit of glitter on the outside, so I have to encourage it to stay on at the outside. There we go. And that's it. That's for that page. That's all finished, and you can see I got it upside down. So, oh dear. I bet you were shouting at me. It's upside down, upside down. See if I can get it off without. Actually, I might be able to take that off. And turn it round. Will that work? That's what happens when you talk too much and you're not concentrating on what you're doing. See if that will work. And I'll put new tape on the inside. Hopefully I've rescued it. There we go, that's fine. With two pieces of tape there, it should be fairly secure. Try this again. Ta-da! Saved it, thank goodness. There we go. So that's that bit. And then this one here. I'm using some wrapping paper and I'm going to put it, where did I think I was going to put it? This signature cover that goes on there. So for this side, like I did with this one here, I put a background, and I use some wrapping paper as a background. You don't have to do that, you could just leave it. It's this one, it's a white page, so I was going to put that on there because it had a white background on there, and glue that down. This is a thin paper, so putting it on this background will make it nice and sturdy so it won't tear, and I thought that complemented that. And then I picked out this card here, old Christmas card. I'm going to have to put a panel over here to cover up because this is one of my that was in my collection, and we will not yet, but we will be gluing this into the journal. But we're going to put, as I did here, put some this is that paper that we stenciled yesterday, and we've got these ruled journal papers, but you might be using unruled journal papers, and this lace paper. And then I put a panel of this on the back here so you can flip it up and you can still write in there. I haven't covered that up, but that doesn't matter. So that's in preparation for that. So we won't glue this in until we put journal papers in there. We could make a hinge and put it on the back, so when you glue it down you won't see the hinge. So that, if just go ahead and do that. You don't have to watch me doing that. But that's that. The last job before we finish today is this page. Here is these flip-ups. 2 flip-ups. This one's got a pocket. This one's just got journaling on the back. So we're just going to create these, and we've got the base page that we just finished painting. It should be dry now, so if you want to get that paper out, we'll cut the panel, put this one away. This one here, we'll cut the panel down to size. I'm going to cut it to the size of the page, and then I'm going to tear around the edges and ink like I did with this one, this bit here. So you don't have to do it that way, you can just keep it straight edge, but that's what I'm going to do with that one. And we're going to do this on the back. I didn't do it on the back with this one, but I might do it on the back with this journal here, just as a bit of difference. So I will cut this down. I've already trimmed it all off, so I just have to cut on the middle, and then I can cut it, tear around the edges. This one is for the back page. What page is it? It's next to the book page, which is this one here. So this one goes on this side here. So it has to be trimmed down to fit on that page. And if you want to tear around the edges and ink, this is just journaling space there mainly. You can also splatter it with some gold, but I'll just leave it plain for now. And so this one here, the front here is what we're going to work on now. So this is the third signature cover. This is the one we just finished putting the flip outs, and now we're going to do the next page is going to have these flip ups. So this is the background page for here. I will tear around the edges and then ink. Just the right size, isn't it? I will, yes. So it goes over the edge there, but not over the edge here, so I'll just tear a little bit off the top and bottom. Not too much. You can make the edges round if you want. roll that over. A little bit fiddly. Getting the edges torn. And you try and go quick. And it doesn't always work out. So these are wide enough to keep these scraps. And that's the panel there. So all we have to do is ink around the edges just to give a nice frame. Just give that nice border. That old world look. It makes the edges look so pretty with the ink around the on the torn pages. You can see my sponge is really coming apart. It's terrible. So that's going to go in there, but before we do that, once again we're going to get these hinges. I've already cut them out. Sizes, we've got 2 here, and I've done them out of the book pages that we copy dyed the other day. So I've cut these hinges down for, the front one here is 4.5 inches wide, and it's 4 3/8 high because the hinge is going to be on the top this time, so it's 3/8 of a hinge and then a 4-inch flap. In centimeters, that's 11.5 centimeters wide by 11 centimeters high with a 1 centimeter hinge. The back one is virtually the same, but it's a bit longer, so it's 4.5 wide. This time it's 5 3/8 tall with the 3/8 hinge on top, 3/8 inch hinge on top. In centimeters, that's 11.5 centimeters wide by 13.5 centimeters high with the 1 centimeter hinge. So I already got ahead on that, and I've scored one, but I'll show you how to score the other one again. Here I might, no, I won't use the plastic card because I've misplaced it somewhere. Don't know what I've done with it. Anyway, I've got these 2 markings of the hinge. So this is book page. Some book pages are very delicate, so just mark it lightly a couple of times. Just helps to turn the hinges over like that. As we did with the first one, this will fit this one. They're both the same width, so they should fit straight over the top of each other like that. So you can ink around the edges. I didn't do any fancy cutting around the edges this time, just left it plain. And then we just turn it over. Once again, we ink one hinge to the other, not ink, beg your pardon, glue one hinge, top hinge to the back hinge. You must have some paint on this glue, like that. Secure it in place. And with these little scissors, sometimes the hinges stick out. You can cut a little bit off so it doesn't stick out the side. That just makes it easier so you don't have that overhang sticking out the sides there. And then this we will put on the top here. So we want to get it as straight as possible. Just work out how you're going to put this on the page if you've cut that out. And then we're going to line this up against the top edge so that it's straight across, just in case you haven't torn the top edge. Won't necessarily be straight across, so we'll still put that there. The other thing you can do is you want to make sure that stays straight. You could, which I haven't done before, I just thought of, we could just mark this here, this along the top edge, this hinge, and glue it, just the back down, and then we glue this bit down onto here. So and then lift it up and then insert this page on there wherever you want to do it, so it doesn't have to go butt up against the edge of that necessarily, because that's uneven. So we'll do it that way. It should work out. So we want to glue on the outside of the hinge, and put it down on those marks. There we go. Fold it down, and I need tissue paper, dab it on, and just burnish it down so it stays. So there we go, and then flip this up, make sure it's firm, and then we glue this. The more journals you make, the more you realize that there are different methods of doing things. You just pick one that you like, that works best for you. There's no right way or wrong way. So now we can place this wherever we want. We don't have to butt it right up against the edge, but some of it will, as long as it covers like that. So at least this is over the base page, so we better glue that down before the glue dries. Flip that back over and then turn it over, and oh, I just tore that page. Never mind, that will be covered up. That's what happens. You've got to be very careful when the glue's wet. There we go. So sometimes when you come back to the pages later on, you'll find that the glue hasn't always stuck. So you just flip it up and glue the edges down then. So that's it for there. I'll leave it aside for that to glue down, and that's it for today. I think we've done enough today to take a break. And I just dipped my pencil in some glue. That was handy, wasn't it? I'll just clean up this up. So in the next video, we'll continue working on the pages in this journal and hopefully get them, if you want to go ahead and glue those back panels in, like I showed you. And then if you don't know exactly how, just go back, rewind the video to where I did the front pages and just copy that for the back pages. As I said, we'll continue working on the journal and making some of the background pages, including painting the leaf papers that I showed you last time. So this time, as we continue on, your freebie for the rest of the project includes some cutouts and ephemera. I'll leave a link in the description below. So this is what it looks like. There's a few pages here because I wanted you to make this journal with me. There's kind of a little bit of a bribe, but also a way that we can do these pages together and have the same images. This one I'll just show you. This is the front panel here. So I've used some wrapping paper and then some journal paper, just as an idea. Is this one here, so we'll paint that up, cut it out and put those panels in. This is a calendar. This is a little leaf. If you don't have a leaf stamp and you want to do stamping of leaves, there's that there. We've got a background here. Anyway, there's all these. This one here is going to go, I'm going to use as a stencil to put on a background page. These here are little labels, and these pockets and all kinds of things in here. There's a belly band with the presents that you showed you in the flip through of the journal, and here's a couple of images that you can use. This one is actually going to go on the back of the envelope on the back page, and this here is just a freebie that you can cut out and use as a journal card or a tag in your journal. Got a couple of labels here. There's a snowman that you saw in this one here. I said that I would talk to you later about, which is on this one here. So we're just going to paint it and fussy cut it out. The same as the Christmas tree on the front here. There's a couple of Christmas trees. This is one of them that we actually cut it out of book page and coffee dyed paper. And the label here, I don't have a cutout for these because how difficult would that be, but you have to get punches, the snowflake punches or some other punch or something else you can use. But anyway, here's the snowman and the Christmas trees, and there's another little one there, but I will be going through all this. So as I said, I'll leave a link in the description box below. You've already got that one, and we'll be working our way through this. So if you want to download this and start fussy cutting some of these images out, and we'll continue working in the next video. So that's all today. Thank you very much for watching or working along with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.